Hi guys, welcome again to our YouTube channel Selection Fish Hub. We are here again to talk to you about how you can be able to farm your pig and your fish together. In this particular video, I'll be telling you everything you need to know about running a pig and a fish farm. What it means is that the waste of the pig is an input in the fish farm section, and also you can use the waste to produce feed for the pig. What we have successfully done here is construct our earthen pond, introduce our aquatic plant. In this particular pond, we have like 4 different aquatic plants, namely the water hyacinth, the water lettuce, the duckweed. We actually have 2 species of duckweed in this particular pond. We have the big leaved duckweed and we have the smaller leaved duckweed. We also have the azolla plant, all in this particular pond. We constructed this earthen pond and we introduced a little bit of the aquatic plant, and in less than 15 days the plant have been able to dominate the whole water space. We had earlier introduced our tilapia broodstock to this pond. If you have not watched our video about broodstock and tilapia fingerling hatching, you do well to check other videos in our channel. So we introduce our tilapia in this pond, and the essence of introducing tilapia in this pond, we aim at practicing polyculture system, where we get to farm the tilapia and the catfish in the same pond. What this will help us achieve is we want to cover up the food habitat. The tilapia are herbivorous feeders. They will eat more of the aquatic plant and grow. And being that they are prolific, that means they are able to reproduce in mass. They will keep reproducing, while the catfish will take advantage of some of their egg, their fry, and eventually some of the fingerlings. We are about testing the pH of the water to be sure that the pH of the water is in the normal range for catfish farming. In this particular place, I have my pH reagent. This pH reagent is used for testing the pH of water. As you can see, this is not the digital pH, but with this we can be able to test our water. Come, let's see. We have to just take a little amount of the water, like 10 mils of our water. This particular container is already calibrated, so we can be able to see our 10 mil. We have to taste for the pH of the water. We are going to drop this reagent 4 drops for 10 mils of water to be able to see the pH of this water. We drop 1, 2, 3, 4. When you do your droppings, you let it stay for a while you let the reagent circulate in all parts of the water. We use the color to check for the pH, so the color change will help us know the pH of the water. Let's compare the color of the water to this scale. So in this particular pH reagent, you have a color chart on it, and we have a color chart ranging from red to deep black. So the red is a pH of 4.0, while the deep black color is 10.0, and we already know that the normal pH for catfish farming is 7.0. So we have the 7.0 to be green. When you compare the color chart, you find out that it's at the 7 color chart. So it means that our water is fit for catfish. The pH is at 7. In this particular container, we have our catfish here, and the species of catfish we have here is Heteroclaras. Heteroclaras is actually a hybrid species of catfish. It's a crossing between the Heterobranchus and the Clara species. One advantage of this hybrid species is that they grow quite bigger than the Clara species. So the choice of the species we are selecting is geared to the target market. There's a particular target market we are looking at. That is why we decided to culture this particular species. We are looking to produce bigger sizes of fish at the end of our culture cycle, which is going to keep between 6 to 8 months. So we are aiming at getting an average worth of 1.5 kg and above. That is why we are going for this particular species. If you want to go into fish production, you should be able to ask yourself some of the important questions which will help you to do your marketing at the end of the production. Number one, what are your target markets? So being that my target market is the people that we get the fresh fish and process them into catfish pepper soup and catfish barbecue. That is why I'm going for this particular species. But if I'm going for a fish that is going to stay for about 3 to 4 months, that is for smoking, I would rather go for Clara's species. So this is the reason why I'm going with this particular species. Okay, we're about doing our salt bed. Salt bed is a process of stabilizing the fish so that they don't get infected by bacteria or some other fish diseases which might have come as a result of transporting the fish, or maybe bacteria that might have been at the hatchery house where we got this particular catfish. So how do you achieve this salt bait? What we do is we are going to measure out about 10 liters of water in this particular plastic bowl. We got our water already. We pour the water in a plastic bowl. Then the next thing we are going to do is to add salt to this particular water. What quantity of salt do we need? So for me, what I do is I use about 15 to 20 grams of salt. Each of these teaspoons measures about 4 grams. We just add it. We just want to dip the fish inside it to avoid moving in pathogens or bacteria into our pond. This is about 12 grams. So this is about 16, and this is about 20 grams of salt. We measured out about 5 level spoons of this particular disposable spoon. When we have done this, we just have to make sure that the salt is evenly spread around the water surface, and they are evenly mixed together. The salt and the water are evenly mixed. So the next thing we are going to do is to try to get our finger length. We have to drain some of the water and remove some of the dead fish, because these fish have been transported for a distance. Some of them are already stressed. Eventually we'll have few mortalities and we try to take them out. Having done that, we are going to do our salt bed. So we have in a bowl with openings on it. Just have to dip it into this salt solution for some minutes, just to sterilize the fish. While dipping, you can also remove some of the dead fish. If you notice any in your container, you try to get some of them out. You dip for a while. It's time to introduce our fish to the pond. So you watch and see. So you gradually let them swim down to the pond. Let me tell you how this system works. Basically, what we do here is we train our pig, and we wash out the waste from the pig, and we let them pass through this hole down to the pond. The waste from this pig are nutrient rich substance which will definitely come to the pond and will help us produce this aquatic plant. This particular water lettuce is actually an aquatic plant that can be used to feed the pig. Let's see how well the pig is going to respond to this particular water lettuce. So you see, this water lettuce is an alternative feed source to the pig. You don't need to feed your pig with 100% formulated feed. What we do here basically is we feed our pig with the formulated feed in the morning hours, and in the evening hours we get some of this aquatic plant and also feed the pig. You find out that their waste is used to produce their food, because in this particular farm we intend on running a zero waste. So this is just one component of the farm where the pig waste gets to fertilize the pond. The nutrient rich water that runs from the pig house to the eating pond, we get to produce other aquatic plants in this water, like phytoplankton and some other aquatic animals, zooplankton, rotifers, that the catfish is also going to feed on. So what we intend to do here is practice 50% pelleted feed and 50% alternative feed. So this is a semi-intensive system of fish farming where we don't get to, purchase all the feed we need for the fish. We allow the fish scout for their feed, 50% artificial feed and 50% natural sourcing for feed. This is a system of fish farming where you get to reduce your cost of production at least to 50%. Being that the cost of fish feed is one of the elements that raises the cost of production up. So we try to, eliminate some of the costs that we incur in farming by finding alternate ways to produce our own feed. As you can see, if you have a closer look at this pond, you find out that the mosquitoes are already clustering around the pond surface. Some of the mosquitoes are already laying eggs, which the catfish we just introduced is going to take advantage of some of them. We also notice the presence of toads, and they are already producing some of the tadpole in the pond, and we allow these things to happen so that the catfish can have some of the feed they need to grow, produce naturally without artificial introduction of feed. What it means is that we just need little amount of feed to sustain this fish. So we keep repeating this process. So you find out that the waste of the pig becomes an input in the fish farm section, and also we have to harvest the aquatic weed to feed the pig. This particular plant is called Iconia crecipes water hyacinth. It's also a good source of feed to the pig and also to other animals in the farm, just like the birds. How we achieve that is by getting some of these aquatic plants. For example, this Iconia crecipes is not actually palatable for the pig. So what we do is that we dry them and then we mill them and we integrate it into their feed during the formulation. But there's one important advantage of this plant. The beautiful thing about this particular plant is that it stabilizes the water pH. What it means is that naturally, when nutrients build up in water, the pH is supposed to shoot up. Okay, the pH will keep shooting up to a level that it might be detrimental to the fish. But with this aquatic plant, which is used for water purification, we use it to stabilize the pH, and we use it to take up some of the nutrients out of the water, making our water fit again for fish farming. You find out that it's a zero waste practicing, and once in a while we recharge our pond with fresh water to make sure that there's enough oxygen supply for the fish in the pond. You find out that the aquatic plants in the pond needs oxygen, and they will definitely deplete the oxygen in the water over time. What we do is we try to use the siphoning tube to pump in fresh water into the pond. The Iconia crecipes is an important aquatic plant species because of its numerous advantages. It has a little bit amount of protein, and the fiber content is also high. And what we try to do is we get the water hyacinth, we detach the root from the plant, and we let them dry. Okay, these are some of the aquatic plants. This is the water hyacinth plant that have the roots have been removed, and we have dried them into something like this. So we are going to bag this particular water hyacinth for milling, why it becomes an ingredient in the feed we are producing for our pig and for our poultry bed. The Iconia crecipes can also be taken by the pig, but then it's not palatable for them. Let's watch and see how the pig are going to respond to it. So you see, the pig also eat the cognac recipes, but then it is not advisable to feed your young pigs with some of these aquatic plants because they are high in fiber content, and the younger pigs might not have the enzyme or to deal with some of them, to digest some of them. So but for the grower pig, you can alternate the normal pelleted feed or the normal feed you mix for them in the farm with some of these aquatic plants. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and we also like you to share some of these videos so that other farmers can get to take advantage of it. Thank you.